Good morning, everybody. I am Russ. This is Steph. That is Chris.
Chrissy's back.
You awake?
Peanut in my throat.
Well, here's the thing.
We're all coughing.
I'm better now. Steph is still coughing. We talked about it on last night's show. Still coughing.
Mm-hmm.
Chris is not really coughing, but he decided to swallow a coconut last night.
I got a right there. It's just like a little, like a ball of feathers. So I have to keep clear. Let me clear my throat.
Oh, good song. I don't have that tickle. I have it just hits me like that, and then I start coughing, and then I go through a coughing spell, and then it'll go away and won't come back for about an hour, and then I'll go through it again. And
it's like coughing where your eyeballs are gonna bust. The blood vessels.
It's that deep cough. So
new study shows that superheroes are not a good influence.
Today's superheroes.
Who's today's superheroes?
Iron Man mainly is the one that they're talking about.
Oh, because of his lifestyle?
Well, yeah, they're talking about how back in the day, it wasn't all about violence. The whole entire movies weren't all about violence. They weren't all about how big your gun is. Not dirty. They weren't about aggressive. It was more of a positive and, like Superman, helping the world and all that kind of stuff. Whereas the superheroes today...
Wasn't he in love with Lois Lane?
Yeah, but the thing is, times change. You can't do that.
If it was 2010 when the Superman came out, he'd have been with Lois.
Yeah, there ain't, just go back. There ain't no more Leave It to Beaver families or Brady Bunch shows.
Well, they said that the study showed that it actually has a negative effect on the boys, on little boys today.
I don't have no doubt about that. There ain't you watch violence, it's just, you don't go out there and pretend like you can fly now. You go out there and pretend like you can kill somebody. You kill them.
Yeah.
The bad guy and shoot them up.
Well,
bang,
and
bang.
then too, they really, Iron Man was the one that was the most scrutinized because of how he is as Iron Man, as, violent and aggressive and all that kind of stuff. And as he was, when he wasn't in the Iron Man costume, he was really, he exploited women, flaunted his money, and, sarcastic, stuff like that. And they were just saying it just has a negative effect on the boys.
Green Hornet's coming out. And he exploited women until he became the Green Hornet, it looks like.
That's true.
And then
that's what it looks like in the preview.
I ain't no telling about that one. You know what? You can't... I don't really... I don't think, as a parent, if you start talking about that as a parent, you don't let you didn't raise your kids with the TV. I mean, you didn't... You can't blame movies and athletes and all that stuff for kids' behavior.
Oh,
you
I knew
cannot do that.
Put in that spot.
You know what? I think it has to do. I think it has to do with intellect. You take somebody who's not very bright.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And you keep throwing this stuff at them, they might believe it.
That's true.
You take somebody whose IQ's a little up there, you know what? Iron Man really probably isn't true. I probably can't be Iron Man.
Okay. You're absolutely right. I know where you're going with this. And there's a section of this area that I know where this would fit in. I grew up on the Lone Ranger every morning before school.
Three Stooges here.
Three Stooges,
and they slapped, you know what? And they slapped each other, poked eyes. I never went to school poking nobody's eyes.
I did my brother.
I did the
knock their heads together.
I grew up. Every morning. Well, that's the honeymooners. Every morning before school, I'd watch Felix the Cat. Felix the Cat and the Lone Ranger.
God, I hated Felix the Cat.
Hated it.
Wonderful cat. Felix the Cat and Dot.
I didn't watch Dot.
What's Dot?
It was a bouncing ball that bounced around. That's all it was.
Just wait for your time.
Yeah.
Felix the
I know
Cat,
Felix the Cat, but I don't
and
know the dog
then
thing.
Lone Ranger. Then I'd head off to school, 3rd and 4th grade in Fort Worth.
I watched Little Rascals, Giggle Snort Hotel, and Banana Split.
God dang, all before school?
Oh, yeah.
See, I was, by the time that was on, I was in 8th grade, I was getting up just in time to make it to school.
I did usually on Tuesdays. my school week was from Tuesday to Thursday.
Yeah,
I didn't normally go on Mondays and Fridays.
Yeah, you wasn't much of a school dude.
Okay. Just going to
If
pick and choose your schedule?
Well, I went on Fridays during, football and basketball. But I usually would just get there before. You had to be there by 10 to be counted there.
Oh, yeah.
So I'd get there about 9:45. School was tough. I'll tell you, it was tough.
Well, we talking about cartoons.
6:30 in the morning.
We're talking about cartoons, and Toy Story 3 has just, I guess it was yesterday, surpassed Shrek 2, and I did read the story, $920 million is what it's grossed.
Wow.
Shrek did 919 million point something. Now, here's the thing. Disney has 2 other shows that are in the top 4, which are my favorite, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, of course.
And Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in
The
Wonderland?
new one?
The new.
Really?
I would not have expected that until I read it.
I'm shocked
So
by
those
that.
are the top
I am
4
too.
Disney's. Yeah, Pixar is number 2 with with Toy Story 2. I really don't. I watched the whole deal on Yahoo. You guys can go watch it with Tom Hanks and Tim Allen, which was really cool. They talked about how it's really fun. The story's great. They love doing stories that when you go, you get to watch it, and that's the end of that one. But
And I cried.
Just think, Toy Story is making him more money than
there's no
all
doubt.
of his movies.
Oh,
Very
gosh.
Shrek has made
Cameron Diaz.
Cameron Diaz and those guys more than they've ever made, probably.
Oh, gosh, yeah. That
You
is...
take 8 years of Tim the Tool Man Taylor, which I love that show, Home
Spit
Improvement.
that out.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and you're probably right. His years of his 3 Toy Stories probably
Oh, gosh.
made just as much.
Probably.
How I know Home Improvement's still on. They
Well, I
still
like
show
Home
Rube.
Improvement.
That was a
I did
good
too.
show.
How long was that on for?
8 years.
8 years?
8 years, because I remember that.
I don't remember, but I knew it was a long time.
I will-
I watched the
Because the
story.
kids
The
growing up.
Hollywood story.
I will say this before we go anywhere else, and the reason I'm is yesterday, and I'm jumping into sports. Yesterday, the Nationals signed their number 1 draft pick, the kid who's 17, a lefty who can hit.
I know you're talking
Okay.
about.
You know what they signed him for? 5 years, $9.9 million. Okay. Now he is a 17-year-old kid who's going straight to the
But he's already in
independent
college.
league. No, just graduated high school.
So it's not the same kid that graduated early to play 1 year college ball.
No, if it is, I don't think so. This is you might be right.
It's probably the same guy.
Are you
Heartthrob
thinking
or
that he
whatever.
just graduated because of his
17,
age?
yeah.
Okay.
Let's just get to the deal.
Okay.
5 years at 17 years old. 5 years, $9.9 million. He gets $500,000 this year, $500,000 last year. Where I'm going with this, next year. John Crook said the day he signed made more money than my entire major league career.
$9 million.
So I'm thinking, a lot of these guys that the Albert Pujols and these guys like the John Crooks and your secondary players, they're not making millions of dollars. It's a game that they're playing, but they're playing a game going,
Well,
God,
John
I
Crook
hope I
was
don't get hurt.
late 80s, early 90s.
Yep. And he said when he came into the league, he was making more money than Mike Schmidt. And that was a Hall of Fame third baseman. You got to think Dale Murphy and